Counting down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The DK Effect. A real-life diary of a madman.
It's time for the DK Effect. Oh, 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 oh. Come on. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, 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 oh. Come on. Oh, 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 oh. It's time for the DK Effect.
Well, top of the day, everyone. My name is DK. I must apologize right off the bat if my voice sounds like I've been eating glass and drinking whiskey, neither of which I partake in. Well, at least not anymore. I was stricken with a virus I think I've been fighting it more than a week, but it so chose to hit me on this most recent long weekend, which was like summer outside, and I'm the one that preaches, get out there, get in the sunlight, get active. I was run right down. As a matter of fact, today is probably the first day that I really got a good, solid exercise routine in. And it feels good right now, but it's probably going to feel more like sore by the time evening rolls around. So needless to say, this is not my normal recording time. Seems a little strange. I usually like to get in first thing in the morning, and it's also not my usual recording day. It's almost time for me to record next week's show, let alone this week. But anyway, I'm doing great. I'm in great spirits, and nothing serious. It's just I don't think I've had a cold or a flu in forever. But yeah, this one kind of knocked me to the ground. It's been going around the house. So speaking of goals and micro goals, just for 1 second, I completed the exam quite some time ago. But you never know until you get the paper in your hand. Well, I finally got my NLP, my Neuro-Linguistic Programming certification and life coaching certification. So I've actually got paper to back my claims to you now, not just me saying it's been done. And I also got my my level 1 strength and conditioning certificate as well. I'm working on some others that I'll update at a later date, but I need to go buy some frames. It's something else now that I'm back to the land of the living. Anyway, part 2 of our interview with Eric Mcmanus will be coming up. I've heard some good things. People are cliffhanging. Well, we've got our second of 3 segments coming up with him. Anyway, let's get rolling here. Welcome back to the show. Today, we're talking about, there's a couple of common words. I've been doing some listening and reading since I was laid out. The first one is what I want to call the myth of interested. And bear with me here for a second. So we're going to talk about the gap between where you are and where you want to be. I see so many people who I talk to who say they want to change, whatever it may be. They're interested in a better life. They're interested in more money or better health. But here's the truth. Interest is a weak prayer. Interest gets you started when it's sunny out, but it deserts you the moment things get heavy. Commitment is the only thing that survives the storm. If you want to launch a new story, you have to stop having preferences and start having convictions. So a lot of times we talk about why we started, and I call mine the hospital anchor. I remember a time when interest wasn't enough. I was laying in a hospital bed and I couldn't walk. I remember looking at my legs and they just wouldn't follow the commands my brain was sending. In that moment, I wasn't interested in walking again. I was committed. I had to find a pattern that worked. I came up with another little formula, a 4-step formula. So again, using me as an example because you have to decide. I had to cut off any other possibility except recovery. Any background conversation had to be eliminated. I had to make a decision. Massive action. Talk about it all the time. I did those repetitive, agonizing hospital exercises, even when I felt zero results. It hurt. I didn't think it was going anywhere. At first, I didn't believe it was going to work. I remember being in the physiotherapy room, the ballpark, as we used to fondly call it. And I'd say, why are we working on my arms? Why are we doing upper body exercises? They're not necessary. It's my legs that aren't working. They said everything plays its part. Every part of the body is affecting your strength. You need your upper body to balance your lower body. And very slowly I watched and I was able to move my foot a little bit and I was able to walk holding bars and crazy things. You need to notice. It's number 3. I had to pay hyper attention, if that's even a word, to the smallest twitch of muscle. So when I'm telling you I felt nothing, I had to notice there's a little pain. There's a muscle moving there. I need to concentrate more on it. The more I did, the further my journey proceeded. And then you got to learn to pivot. I don't often use sports analogies, but today I am. If a movement didn't work, I didn't give up. I changed the angle. I modeled the mechanics of health until my body caught up. And what I mean by that is I was under guidance. I had good coaches. Those physiotherapists were amazing, and they helped me. But if one thing isn't working, you don't just say, I knew it. I don't know why I bothered starting. You keep going. You change. You call an audible till something works, even the slightest little advance. And then your body catches up. Most people would have said being realistic meant accepting a wheelchair. But being realistic is just a high-end word for mediocrity. Pattern to power is about modeling the unrealistic results of the masters. We tell you, whether it's a real person or someone in a book or a character in history, you got to surround yourself with those people, what I call the wise men and women. Don't leave this episode today without making one unrealistic decision. Yeah, there's homework. Take one action towards that thing you've been interested in until now. Let's turn the interest into power. I'll be back after Eric's portion of the show.
Now it's time for the second part of our interview with Eric Mcmanus. When we left Eric, he was just saying goodnight to his fiancée. What twist of fate is this story about to take? Does darkness take another shot at this journey? Or is it a signal of a drastic turnaround? Let's find out as Eric continues the story in his own words.
And not knowing that was the last time I would ever see her.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah. And so that night, it was about 8 o'clock, and I dropped my daughter off to her mom's house and my daughter's best friend off to her house. And I'm on my way home, and I'm texting Jules. I'm like, hey, like, I'm on my way home. I'll see you at the house. Getting no response. I'm calling her. She's not picking up. By the time I get to about our house, I still haven't I haven't got a response back from her. So I'm like, I wonder if if she's sleeping. She looked really tired. So like I said, her mom lived a block away. So I drove a block away to go see, and there was her car, right? So I was like, okay, she's probably sleeping at her mom's house because she's tired.
Right.
So I come around, I go back to my house, and I'm mad. Like, I'm mad because, like, this is a Father's Day weekend. I never really got to spend any time with her. I just wanted to spend at least an hour with my girl. It's a special day for me.
Absolutely. Yeah. No,
Yeah.
for everybody.
So
Yeah.
exactly. So I'm laying in bed and I'm texting her again, and I remember I still have the text on my phone. I was like, I'm so mad at you right now. I said, like, I'm spending Father's Day by myself. I can't believe you're doing this. We have work tomorrow. I'm not even going to see you until after work. I'm like, whatever. Good night. Hope you have a good sleep. So I go to sleep, and I wake up about 8 in the morning. And I'm just instantly puking, kind of like how, like, the Undertaker would wake up when he get knocked down, and sits up like that.
Yeah. Yeah. I know it well. I'm a wrestling
Yeah.
fan. Hey.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there you go. Yeah. So that's how it was like. But and then as soon as I got up, I was puking. Like, I puked everywhere. Like something was wrong. And I had this just horrible feeling coming over my body. So I ran to to get my phone. I'm calling her phone, no answer. So then I call the house phone where her mom is. And man, I thought she was laughing at first, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I thought she was laughing, and then I realized she's screaming, and I'm telling you, I will never unhear that noise again,
Right.
And she was just screaming, and she's like, "Eric, bring her back, please bring her back." And I'm like, "What do you mean?" And she says, "She's gone. She's gone, Eric, bring her back. She's gone." And meanwhile, like, I just woke up, you know what I mean? So, like, I'm trying to process all of this. I don't know, is this a dream? Is this real? This can't be true, at that moment. So then I jump up. I don't even get dressed. I jump into the car and I drive a block away. As soon as I get in there, man, her mom is just melted, as she should be. You know what I mean? She just lost her child, right?
Yeah.
And there was a police officer, an RCMP police officer, standing inside there and blocking anybody trying to go upstairs because she actually passed away, the coroner said, at 10 o'clock at night on Father's Day, which was June 18th at the time.
Right.
And she OD'd. So she was injecting as well. So apparently after she left my place, she went out and picked up some drugs. And she was a heroin user, which, let's face it, there's no such thing in this world anymore. It's all just what we talked about is fentanyl.
Yeah.
So when she went to go use, I didn't think she realized that it's not heroin, it's fentanyl, which is 10 times stronger.
Yeah. It sure is.
And and she hasn't used in years too. You know what I mean? Like, I this is just what I'm thinking because I wasn't there. I was at home with my daughter. I don't know the process, but I mean, to me, that just makes sense. Like, she wasn't used to this strong drug because when she was doing it there, it wasn't really around. You know what I mean? So she ended up, she ended up ODing from that. And it was a horrible time. It was a horrible time. It was a dark place. And I went through some really horrible times. Their family, the day that she passed away, I was at the family's house. All the family came in. They told me, you're not part of the family. You can leave. There's no point of you being here, and kicked me right out. So
Jeez.
I walked with my head. I held my head high this whole time. What I went through. 2 days, or the second day, the next day I went over to the house after. They handed me a piece of paper saying I had 6 months to move out of their house.
God.
Yeah. Then 4 days later, their family members and a lot of her, she had an AA, like a sponsor,
Yeah.
and the sponsor came. And I'll tell you this, and I'll say this right on the air. I've said this before. I don't trust that lady. I don't trust her as far as I throw her. She even stole clothes from from Jules after she passed away. She's an evil person. I seen right through her,
Yeah.
and she's seen that I seen through her. So she did everything in her impossible to kick me out of the situation. You know what I mean? So she changed the mindset of her mom, thinking that I'm this bad guy and all this. They came to the house, they destroyed the house, they took everything that they owned. 4 days later, I don't even have time to grieve, right?
Yeah.
I'm not even processing. Now I'm getting kicked out of the house. You know, I'm everything that she owns and I own. They came in, they just tore it all apart, grabbed a bunch of stuff, and left me with the mess. Not only that, I had my car. It was under Jules's name, but it was my car because I was at work. So I gave her money to go buy it. She put the insurance under her name, and it was actually funny. A week after she died, we were supposed to switch my car over into my name. She just put a couple months insurance on it.
Right.
Well, probate took it. So now probate took my car for 9 months because it was under her name. And then on top of that, because it was insurance, and then on top of that, then her family took the car back and made me buy my own car back for $6,000, man.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
It's almost
And then
surreal to be true, right? It's
I know. I can't make this stuff up though. Like this is real, you know? And then on top of it, I got a really beautiful dog. Um, Jules actually found my dog. She's from the Venom line. And we paid a lot of money for her. She was a $12,000 dog. It's a very it's a show dog, right?
right.
So I paid 6, she and her mom, I mean not her mom, she paid 6. Well, her mom last summer called me. I haven't talked to her in months, by the way, right?
Yeah.
Calls me and says, "Hey, I know you're such a good guy. I know you'll say yes." This is how I answer the phone. She's like, "I know you're a good guy. I know you say yes. I know you're gonna do this for me. Can you please pay me back the $6,000 that my daughter pitched in for the dog?"
Okay.
And this is this is not even talking after to this woman, right? So I was like, "Oh my God," and I'm like, you know what? I'll think about it. I was just trying to brush her off respectfully because I've always tried to be respectful after everything that they put me through, right?
Yeah.
And I
Be the
understand she
better
lost a
person.
daughter. Exactly. But I understand too. She lost a daughter and things happen in grief and people get lost. And I understand that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I just at the end of the day, I knew what I needed to do and just be the better person, exactly like you said. And that's what I did. So yeah, she called me for this dog and I said, "Sorry, I let me think about it." And she's like, "Think about it? What do you mean think about it?" Like she was giving me attitude. And in that moment, man, I just let her have it, right? I let her have it and told her how I felt and haven't talked to her since. But it was a horrible time they put me through.
Yeah.
But after I was sitting there, every day my buddy Joey would come over after she died. Every day he would come over and he'd sit with me and he would just hold space. And that's all I needed.
Yeah.
I just needed someone to sit there and hold space, not tell me, because anybody could tell me anything, but it's not gonna change the
Right.
situation.
Sometimes silence, like they say, is golden. It's an old saying, but true.
Yeah, and that's all I need. I just needed someone to sit there with me, and just to be in my feelings and know that if I needed to say something, they were there and I could,
Yeah.
And such an amazing man, my buddy is Joey. Every day he just came over after work and he would just sit there. He wouldn't say a word. He would just come over for a week straight and sit there.
Yeah.
And near that end of the week, I just turned to him and I'm like, "You know what, man? I want to start a podcast."
Everything the DK Effect all in one place. www.thedkeffect.ca. All our social media links. Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. A library of articles that go into detail on subjects covered on the show. And other articles including mental health, personal growth, fitness, and success stories. An easy way to contact us with questions or if you want to share your story on the show. Yep. All of that in one place to assist you on your life journey. It all starts with taking the first step at www.thedkeffect.ca.
Back over to you, Dickens. 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 Back over to you, Dickens.
The day I got angry. So the second thing I wanted to talk to you about was, I don't know if I just had a epiphany or I was just so down and out and almost depressed. You know, being ill, the common cold can bring you into dark spots where you're looking at that cave that you swore you'd never go back into. But this time you got to bring a flashlight. The most productive emotion, and bear with me a sec here, you will ever feel is anger. Not the kind of anger that destroys, which out there hurting anybody. It's the kind of anger that defines. There was a specific day, and I'm talking a lot about it today, but it fits during my recovery. When I reached my limit, I was tired of the slow progress. I was tired of the smell of the hospital, and I was tired of the version of myself that was just getting by. Now, I got angry. I got angry at my own tolerance for mediocrity. I realized that my life wasn't a reflection of my goals. It was a reflection of my standards. I stopped saying I'll try, and I started saying this is who I am. And why I want to circle back to this is, I remember talking to a friend, and I was, at first I thought it was other things that were making me feel down, that were making me feel like this is it, but I've hit a wall. And what I mean by that is I've been doing my workouts, I've been doing my exercises, I've been doing everything that everyone's been telling me to do, and I'm not seeing progress again. I'm back to that spot where I never thought I'd walk, unassisted. I'm back there because I'm moving. I'm somewhat functioning, but the progress has stopped again. So my standard at that moment was, I guess this is it. I guess this is as far as I'm going to make it. You see, goals are a thing that you hope to achieve. Standards are things you refuse to live without. You don't get to your goals. You get to your standards. If you tolerate a low energy body, that's what you're going to have. If you tolerate a business that barely breaks even, that's where you'll stay. You know, during this DK effect, between the show and all my studies, I've learned something called neuroalchemy. The process of shifting your internal temperature, not once, but constantly. When I was in that hospital, I raised my internal temperature. I decided that being unable to walk was no longer a standard I would accept. And I began to model the patterns of a person who is mobile, strong, and vital. I may have been studying you and you didn't even know it. People around me in the hospital that were probably just as or more frustrated than I was. And that's how I got again, lying in the bed, feeling sorry for myself. There is a gap between who you are and who you want to be. I call it the disappearance gap. It only closes when you stop negotiating with your old story. My story changed the moment I drew a line in the sand and said, no more. And it wasn't just in the hospital. It raised its ugly head again. And I had to go back. What are you tolerating right now? Is it a stagnant career, a relationship on autopilot, your health? This is your invitation again, last time, to a new story webinar. We're going to look at the patterns you're running and give you tools to raise your standards permanently. Stop managing your problems and start designing your power. I really do hope to see you there. So that's it for this week. As always, ladies and gentlemen, I want to encourage you. I want to encourage you to be kind to others, be kind to yourself, to take that first step to put on your shoes, to get moving in the direction wherever it is you want to be. I apologize again if my voice was a little scratchy, but I'm on the mend. Going to be better than ever, and you can be too. Until next time, I'm DK.
Never, never, never look back. Keep going and don't give up. Never, never, never look back. Keep going and don't give up. Never, never, never look back. Never, never, never look back. Keep going.